This altered timeline, after Vaggie fell, she would simply just lay there. Charlie, for whatever reason, would not find her, as Vaggie would get up, barely able to stand after her injuries, as it was after the exorcist came. As Loona and Blitz were in a car, this would be 2 years before Charlie and Vaggie met, so Loona would be 20. As Loona would look out, she would see Vaggie. As Vaggie was laying on the ground, Loona would say, "Can you pull over?" Blitz would look and say, "Looney, we can't pick up every stray, please." As Blitz would sigh, he would stop the car. As Loona would go out and walk to Vaggie and say, "Hey, you need some help?" Vaggie would look up at Loona, not really sure what to make of her, as Vaggie would simply nod, as Loona would grab her hand and lift her up. As then, Vaggie and Loona would then go back to her place. As Blitz would lay on the couch, Loona and Vaggie were about to lay in bed. As Vaggie was patched up, Blitz would grab her hand and say, "Hey, I know you're a girl, so I don't really have to worry about preggers or anything." Vaggie would say, "Gross. But, do you mind being easy if you're gonna..." "I'm not gonna..." Listen. I literally almost perished today. I need a break. As Blitz would say, "Understood." As Vaggie and Loona would lay down in bed, Loona would blush a little looking at Vaggie, but she wouldn't say much, as Vaggie would realize this, but she was a hellhound, and she was taught to hate people in hell. Even though all that life was behind her, it was still a part of her. As Vaggie would lay there and look at Loona, as she would think to herself, is this really what her life has come to? She really living with creatures of hell? She couldn't believe it, but not much else she can do. As she went to bed that night, she would wake up to find Blitz gone. As Loona would say, Blitz left to form a group with I.M.P. So, you want to go out and get some clothes? Speaking of which, how did you survive those exorcists? I never saw exorcists spare someone before. And you never brought up having a home. Are you homeless? Vaggie would say, "It's a long story." Loona would say, "Can I know?" "Well, you did help me. Tell you what, if I trust you more, I'll tell you." Loona would nod, as Vaggie and Loona went to the mall to get some clothes. As Loona and Vaggie were at the mall, they would get clothes, and begin to talk and gossip and talk about other things. Loona would talk about cute boys and other things like that, and even a few cute girls to, let Vaggie know, because Loona had a crush on her. As Vaggie would start to talk about interesting things herself, she mostly kept quiet, but every once in a while she would talk about how she loved to fight or something like that. As Loona said, "So, you're like a tomboy. Interesting." As then Loona would say, "Why don't you fight me? You are still injured a bit, but a little sparring match wouldn't hurt, would it?" Vaggie would say, "I don't know if that's a good idea. Come on, please." Vaggie would say, "All right." As they would walk outside the mall, they would get ready to fight. Say, "Don't worry, I'll go easy on you." Vaggie would say, "Should I be I who's going easy on you?" As Loona would get on all fours, she began to growl at Vaggie and charge at her. As Loona would push Vaggie down, since she was still a bit injured, she couldn't fight at full capacity. But just then, Vaggie would hit Loona in the stomach with the back of her spear, causing her to fall down. As Vaggie would hit her in her pressure point, Loona would fall to the floor. As Vaggie would run over to her and say, sorry, did I hurt you?" As Loona would grab Vaggie and kiss her. As she said, "Damn, that was hot. As Loona would get up and say, "I gotta go." As Loona would go back to her room, she would lock herself in it. As Vaggie would blush and say, "You know what? Maybe I should give her a chance." As Vaggie then went to her house, Blitz would look at Vaggie, and Blitz would say, "I know what happened between you and Loona." Vaggie would say, "Listen, she kissed me. Blitz would say, "Shh, I think it's amazing." Looney was gonna date eventually. I'm glad it's a girl. If it was a guy, I'd have to watch out for stuff, and it's just a lot simpler. However, there will still be some rules. I don't want you to break her effing heart, understand that. But if you break up, you're not allowed to live here ever again. And Blitz would pull out a whole list of rules, as Vaggie would sigh and say, I get it. As Vaggie would knock on the door, she would say, "Loona." Loona would say, "I'm sorry, I kissed you, can you open the door?" Loona would open the door, and then Vaggie would hug her and kiss back and say, "I like you." Loona would say, "I like you too." "Dad, can you leave?" Loona would say, as Blitz would say, "All right." And remember, Loona would say, "Dad, Blitz would then just leave.
Loona and Vaggie would then kiss, as then they would have a fun night together, as they would enjoy each other. As we cut to the next morning, as they were both laying in bed, Vaggie and Loona would both look at each other, as Loona would say, "So, what now?" Vaggie would say, "Well, I should probably tell you I was an exorcist." Loona would say, "What?" Vaggie would then begin to tell her the whole story. The reason she was able to do this is because, well, Loona didn't seem like she would care about sinners, unlike Charlie in our timeline. As Loona would say, "Wow, that is a lot." Loona would say, "I have an idea, though. Stay here." As Vaggie says, "Are you gonna..." Loona would say, "Relax, I'm not gonna hurt you. You'll like this idea." As Loona left, she would go and meet with Blitz, and Blitz would say, "So how was last night?"
Loona would then say, "Never mind that, Dad. I need a favor from you." Blitz would say, "Oh, what's that?" Loona would sigh and go, "Listen, Dad. Is it possible for an exorcist to enter the planet Earth?" Blitzo would say, "I don't know. Sinners can't. Exorcists might be able to. Why?" As then, Loona would tell Blitz and say, if she can, then maybe she can be a part of our business. Blitz would say, good idea. Also, holy crap, Luna's with an exorcist. That's kind of nice, right? Working your way up. Girl power? Loona would say, just try it out, Dad. As then Blitz would go to Vaggie. As Blitz went to Vaggie, Vaggie would look at him and say, what do you want? As Blitz would say, I want to see something. As then he summoned a portal. As Vaggie walked through it, she went to Earth. And Blitz said, you can go to Earth. That's it. You're now a member of I.M.P. Vaggie would say, what? I don't know about that. Blitz would say, if you work for I.M.P., you can get money and live here. Vaggie would say, fine. As Vaggie would start to work there. As one day, Vaggie would go to the office. As then, suddenly, Moxie would look and say, oh, is this a client? So it would say, nope, we found a loophole and a way to bring her to Earth to fight for us. Moxie would say, it's already illegal for us to go to Earth. I mean, no one cares because it's hell, but like, do we really want to attract more attention for a sinner? Loona would say, actually, my girlfriend's not a sinner. She's an exorcist. Well, ex-exorcist. As Vaggie would say, that's right. Do you want to test my might? As Millie says, oh, I do. I want to fight her. Moxie would say, are you sure you want to do this, hon? Of course. As then they would go out and start to fight. As Millie would put up one heck of a fight. She was feisty and strong and go for all her pressure points. But Vaggie would begin to fight her with her spear and keep her at bay. As they were all fighting, Moxie would say, go Millie. As then Loona would say, go Vaggie. As then Blitz would say, I bet $10 on Vaggie. You into that action, Moxie? Moxie would say, I'm not going to bet on my wife losing. What do you mean? Because she's obviously going to, wow, you don't believe in your wife? Well, you just said, yeah, she's your wife, Mox. As Vaggie would continue to fight Millie, and she would make sure not to hit her with the pointy part of the spear, not wanting to hurt her too much. As they continued the battle, they started to enjoy it and laugh until Vaggie won, and Vaggie said, that was a good fight. Millie would say, thanks. As they both got up and smiled at each other, and Millie said, I got a new friend. Vaggie would laugh and say, I like you guys. You guys are fun. As Vaggie was now officially a part of I.M.P. As Vaggie would be a part of I.M.P., a lot of things would change. First off, with her experience, she would be able to protect Stolas way better, so Stryker probably would have never kidnapped him, and Blitz would have never been tempted to join Stryker. So many things like that would have changed, and Stolas might have never even been kicked out, because Vaggie might have been able to find a better solution. We can't really know the full details and everything that would have happened. I have to go episode by episode, and I'm not doing that. So for the fake of the story, I think I'm going to end it here. Vaggie and Loona would love each other, and they would live together, happily ever after. Just going to leave things off. This was a very unique shift, honestly. I didn't really know. I've been kind of trying to ship more people, but I've been running out of ships. Vizzy Pop, you need to make more characters so I can ship together. Alright? Vizzy Pop, that's the first thing you need to do. New season. All that stuff, alright? You didn't have many episodes in the first season, so people will criticize the show. There's barely any episodes, I'm not gonna lie. But those episodes were really good and really kept the fans going. I mean, it was definitely worth the wait. I do wish it was on YouTube like the other show, honestly, because then we could have both of them and we can have them crossover. But since, a company, Madhouse, owns Has Been Hotel, we can never have an official crossover of the show. At least I don't think so. However, there is one little thing. since this is my channel, I can cross it over whenever I want. Which is sad. I think that's why the other show's going to have a really hard time, because Has Been Hotel introduced Lucifer. And I don't think Lucifer can be in both shows because Madhouse owns, Has Been. So yeah, they're just going to replace him with Satan, basically, because he doesn't do his job and is lazy, which is a terrible way to betray my boy. He definitely got messed over, but hey, what can you do? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, they can kind of work out a deal with Madhouse, have Lucifer appear for like a few minutes. I think that would be really cool, but I don't know, I do know originally Angel was going to appear in an episode, but they couldn't do it because Madhouse owned Has Been Hotel. But hopefully with the success, they'll be able to do a crossover episodes, because there's been crossovers with completely different companies, and they have the same creators for both shows, so it's definitely possible. I don't know. Do you think we'll ever get a crossover episode? Or do you think a character will ever cross over? Like, for example, do you think, like, Blitz will meet Angel, or Lucifer will be there, or something like that? Do you think that will ever happen? And if so, how do you think that will happen? And how would you want it to happen? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. I did. And I also want to know how all your days are going, because my day's going well. Not gonna lie. I've been trying to do some challenges here and there. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm a gamer, but I suck at games. And I have a gameplay channel. I'm a gamer who sucks at games and has a game. Back in the old YouTube, you could get a lot of views by sucking. Just scream and be like, I suck, ah! But now you don't get as many views as doing that, sadly. I love to make a gaming show just called I Suck. And it's just me failing over and over again. Going, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? I'm sure that's something we've always thought about. What I've thought about sometimes, like, why am I me and not someone else? Like, why was I born as me? Why wasn't I born as someone else or another person? You ever think about that? Like, not that you want to be another person. It's like, why was I born as me? I could have been born as this person or this person. I could have had that life or this life, but I was born with this one. Why? Is there any reason to it? Is there any reason why I'm here? I mean, I guess that's the oldest question in the book. We'll have different answers. But, you ever wonder what it'd be like if you were a different person? Like, born into a different life? I don't know. I think about that sometimes. Anyway, thank you all for being here. I love you all so much. You really mean the world to me. My last video did really well. Honestly, videos are getting weird. Sometimes they'll do really, really well, then they'll do crappy, then they'll do really crappy, then they'll do really well, so I don't know anymore. But thank you all guys for watching this video. It means the world to me. Love you all. Peace out.